ẹ̀yin ènìyàn mi mo kí yín ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa ẹ gbà yí ẹ wò ẹ bá wa dá sí orí ètò tá ti máa mú gbogbo bó bá ṣe ń lọ káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà wá fún yín ẹ̀yin ènìyàn wa fídíò eléyìí tá mú wá fún yín lọ́jọ́ tòní gẹ́gẹ́ bí orúkọ wa ẹ gbà yí ẹ wò ẹ bá wa dá sí ẹ jọ̀wọ́ bí ẹ bá ṣe ń wo fídíò yìí tán ẹ bá wa fi kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yín sí abẹ́ comment section kí ẹ má dẹ̀ gbàgbé láti subscribe sórí YouTube channel yìí kí ẹ̀yin náà lè máa mọ gbogbo àsìkò àti ìgbà tí a bá gbé fídíò tuntun jáde. ẹ̀yin ènìyàn mi.
Hello Nigerians, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fún mi ní just 1 minute or 2 minutes. Today is 22nd of March 2026. As at earlier now, which is 21st, petrol is 1,240 naira per litre. Ní èní tó jẹ́ Sunday, ó ti di 1,340 naira per litre. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ló yí látàlí àná yẹn sáàárọ̀ yìí? Àbára wa, àbáwa táwọn wà Nàìjíríà fúnra wa, àbáwa Nigerians láyìí. Ṣé rí olè ló sórí burúkú? Ní táwọn marketers ń dánwò lórí ọ̀rọ̀ epo kékeré kọ́. Ogun jà ní Iraq àti Israel, àmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣáwa ò ní crude oil tiwa. Ó ṣe jẹ́ pé epo tiwa gangan ó tún wá wọ́n. Àwọn other countries tó ń lépo tí wọ́n lépo kéré tépo tí wọ́n ò wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Aláìsí ti kọrin tán. Ó ní àwa ara wa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Àwa ara wa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Àwa ara wa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Ṣé rọ wá ni? Àwa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Torí èmi ò mọ reason tó jẹ́ pé every second òkè ilẹ̀ àwọn tí ò wà rówó ra ńkọ́, àwọn tó ń gọ̀kadà ńkọ́, situation wo náà káwọn máa wà. Nísìn gbogbo nǹkan máa wọ́n, oúnjẹ máa wọ́n, gbogbo everything máa padà wọ́n. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni nǹkan mú wọlé fáwọn èèyàn? Àwa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Mo ṣe rẹ pé yẹn tán sìn, mo jáde kúrò ní filling station yẹn, ọlọ́pàá kan dá mi rú, bàbá àgbàlagbà ni. Ojú mi le dọ́dọ̀ wọn ni. Mọ́tò ló ń gbé onífẹsẹ̀ rẹ̀ mọ́ lámì. Ọlọ́run ní ṣe ń pọ́sẹ̀ mọ́ lámì. Ọlọ́ ìlú ìbomú ní bàbá mo ti ń lọ tẹ́lẹ̀, ẹ ṣàdúrà mi. Ilé ìtọ́wà lọ́wọ́ wà kó mọ́ lámì. Bàbá torí pé ṣàdúrà ni o, ara nǹkan gásà láàrin o, mo ṣe wá fún wọn lówó. Kéjì pé wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ owó lọ́mọ, àdúrà tí wọ́n ṣe mo fi fún wọn lówó. A police officer bàbá àgbàlagbà, sọ yẹ kí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn dàfà lójú títì. Situation country náà ni. Bí wọ́n ṣe máa àdúrà sí tó yẹ mọ́sálásí kan lọ́yẹ̀ kí wọ́n jókòó sí mọ́ ṣàdúrà fáwọn yẹn. Kì í ṣojú títí wọ́n wà tí wọ́n gbé mọ́ lọ́wọ́. Bẹ̀tí ń tán sọ Nàìjíríà dání ẹ̀, Ọlọ́run aṣáájú gbogbo wa.
Good day, fellow Nigerians. My name is Samson Akinola. I am your indefatigable human rights activist lawyer to the core in the city of London, and an active member of Yoruba Sovereign Independent Nation, aka Yoruba Nation Movement in Nigeria. I'm leading the mantle. I'm taking the mantle of the leadership of Yoruba Nation globally right now. That this is the time for us to get Yoruba Nation, and we have many reasons to agitate for Yoruba Sovereign Independent Nation, because the Yorubas cannot be second citizen in Nigeria anymore. Enough is enough. We have taken we have been tolerant with the Fúlàní in Nigeria, and every one of us have to remember the history of the Fúlàní in Nigeria. That the Fúlàní invaded Nigeria in 1804 through jihadist movement. This invasion already is a criminal offense, and because we did not regulate the Fúlàní at the ab initio of their invasion into Nigeria, because we didn't regulate it, that gave them the confidence to think they are indigenous Nigerian and they can do and undo. And because of our being tolerant with them, we don't want war. We're trying to be peaceful. We're trying to be good citizens of Nigeria. But the Fulanis are thinking it is cowardice. And that is why I, Samson, I'm coming out right now to say, no, we are not coward in Yoruba land. And non-Nigerians is coward because we are wholly peaceful. We want peaceful nation. That was the reason why we've been kept quiet for long. But the Fulanis have pushed us to the war today now. Especially the Sultan of Sokoto have pushed me and other responsible Nigerians to the war. And that is why we are taking this radical movement to ensure that the Fulanis know their limits in Nigeria. We are peaceful citizens and we want our country to remain peaceful. But because of the Usman Fodio ambition, it's still lingering in the heart of the Fulanis. And this is my point. You see, the Fulanis, they have their strategies in Nigeria. They came in through invasion, as I said in 1804, through Usman Fodio, with purpose. With purpose in Nigeria. And the purpose is, number one, they created too much population. In the northern part of Nigeria today, you see the population in northern part is overwhelming. And that is why they always claim they have the population. It is part of their jihadist movement. That is why we had the Al-Majiri children, the children they born, they don't care. And those Al-Majiri are becoming nuisance in the northern part of Nigeria. And they are not transporting them under section 41 of the 1999 Constitution as freedom of movement to move to any part of Nigeria they want, especially in Yoruba land. And that is fantastic by me. But the freedom of movement is a limited right. It's not under absolute right, which means we can restrict their movement in certain circumstances, which I will be delivering on my next episode. So, but at the moment, we need to look at the position again. The Fulani strategically position themselves in the corridor of powers. Look at military, in Nigerian military today. The Fulanis are overwhelmed that area. Look at politics today. The Fulanis are there. This is the strategy of Islamization of Nigeria. This is the strategy of jihadist Nigeria. And we have to stop this. And that is why I stated clearly in part of my previous post that we need to stop the Fulanis holding any strategic political position in Nigeria and the military as well. And as I'm speaking, as I'm making this broadcast, I want all Fulanis in Nigeria, in military, in politics, to be extirpated of their position right now, because that is the starting point. And we are going to raise a peaceful protest to ensure we stop this Islamization of Nigeria. We're going to stop it, because the Fulani, they have positioned everything into places. Now you could see in 1999 Constitution, they implemented Sharia law into Constitution. This is a leeway for them to have a grant that Sharia law is in the Constitution. And that is what they have been saying right now. All those things are part of Islamization. So they have systematically put Sharia law in our Constitution, which many people criticize and condemn that Constitution as military Constitution. Because that same Constitution contradicted itself. Section 10 stated clearly in that Constitution that Nigeria is a secular state. And Section 38(1) sub 1 stated clearly again that every Nigerians have freedom of religions. That means I can decide to be a traditionalist, I can decide to be a Muslim, I can decide to be Christian. Anyone I want to do, I have the freedom of movement. But now, the last stage of it is jihad. You could see jihadist movement is moving right now in Nigeria. And you could see in the northern part of Nigeria, there's Fulani jihadists. They kill some Muslims now. Who they say that the Islamic right is not conon, is not corresponding with the Fulani Islamization ideology. So now you could see Kwara State is bleeding right now. The Fulanis are killing the Muslim in Kwara State. Kwara State is dominated by Muslim. About 80% of people in Kwara State are Muslim. The Yoruba Muslim in Kwara, they have been slaughtered. The Islam, they slaughter there because they said they need to practice their Islamic religion in accordance with the Fulanis. And they said no, and they slaughtered them. They said Quran allowed them to slaughter them, and they did. And the governor of Kwara State kept quiet because he is being alleged as part of jihadist movement in Kwara State. Now, these people are moving forward again to Ekiti, Ado, Ondo. So this is part of their strategies. And I am telling you, fellow Nigerians, I want you to join me in this peaceful protest that is coming up this year. I was told not to announce the date and the year and the month anymore. But suddenly this year, it will happen. Where we have to wage war to stop Fulani Islamization movement in Nigeria. You have to stop. We have to raise a movement, a peaceful protest called Anti-Fulani Jihadist Movement in Nigeria. You need to join me on this. This is for Nigeria, not about Yoruba alone. Okay? But Yoruba nation is still my call. Because I want to protect all Yorubas first before I take them out of the hands of the Fulanis. The Fulanis don't have good intention for us. And that is one of the reasons I stated in my previous post, that we need to regulate the Fulanis in Nigeria. So you need to join me on this advocacy to regulate all the Fulanis in Nigeria. Especially, and we have to give conditions to all the Fulanis in Nigeria. Starting from Sultan of Sokoto to mind the species in society. And we need to regulate Dr. Shehi Gumi. Dr. Shehi Gumi have alleged Nigerian government, saying Nigerian government knows much about the insecurity that pervades Nigeria. This is a great allegation and an indictment to the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's over 3 weeks, it's over 2 weeks now that Gumi made this statement. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu have never come out to challenge Gumi. And Gumi have made this statement on numerous occasions for the past 3 years. The former Chief of Army Staff, Buta, came up yesterday. He said the government knows everything about the insecurity. And he said the government have the names of the people that sponsor terrorism in Nigeria. And government refused to release them. That is government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So, in my opinion, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with all these allegations towards you, I think you might be part of the people that President Trump we might eliminate from office, because your government have been alleged of sponsoring terrorism, and you haven't come out to debunk it. So please, if you can't come out to debunk it, can you send one of your spokesman to come and debunk this? Because I am saying this under my constitutional right, Section 24. Hey, give me the right to defend Nigeria and serve Nigeria. So I am defending Nigeria from Fúlàní invasion in 2026. The Fúlàní invasion of 1804 is over, and we have to put stop onto it. And it is government that can do this, because you are the commander-in-chief of armed forces of Nigeria. And failure to do this, it might show that you are unskilled to take over Nigeria in the next presidential election. You know, insecurity has pervaded Nigeria during your reign. So you have to come out and defend this and tell us the plans you have to stop this insecurity in Nigeria. I know insecurity can never stop, but at least you need to tell us your plans, how to reduce it about 95%. So we are holding you accountable for this, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I remain your faithful human rights, indefatigable human rights lawyer to the core, an active member, founder of Yoruba Nation in the UK. And I am serving my people, the Yorubas. Inshallah, we shall come out of Nigeria. Nigeria is bleeding. The Yoruba people must come out of Nigeria. I am leading the movement of Yoruba Nation, and I'm leading the movement of anti-Fúlàní jihadist movement in Nigeria. So those are my callings, and I'm ready to do this in good faith, and I've been doing it in good faith for over 2 decades. I've been on this issue. I started with one Nigeria, but today I've crossed to Yoruba sovereign independent nation, and that is my last resort. I remain faithful to all Yorubas. Please, don't compare me with any other activist. My fellow Nigerians, my name is Samson Akinola. I'm the Yoruba Nation activist. And today, we want to talk about the Fúlàní in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, I would like to break it down. According to the various research, we were told about 95% Fúlàní are Islamic jihadists in Nigeria and in Africa at large. So today, we are bringing it forward to see how we can regulate the Fúlàní in Nigeria. Why? The reason is very simple. We all know that the Fúlàní are aliens in Nigeria. They came into Nigeria through the Islamic jihadism of 1804. That was how they came into Nigeria. So they are not indigenous. So in this situation, because of the because of the insecurity that pervades the nation, and majority of it are under the umbrella of Islamic jihadists and the Fúlàní, who are the perpetrators of this. Yes, I agree, not all the Fúlàní are criminals, not all the Fúlàní are jihadists, but in overall, about 95% of the Fúlàní are jihadists. Even some of them in the government, they are jihadists. Some of them in the military, they are jihadists. Some of them in the palace, they are jihadists. So, and apart from the people in the forest. So, in this situation, and we have to come together as responsible Nigerians and look at it critically, that Section 1 of the Sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution make it clear to every one of us that nobody, no individual, no tribe, no nationality is above the law in Nigeria. So in this situation, that is why we are thinking, because of the behaviors of the Fúlàní, the sign that because they are not indigenous and they came with a mission which was aborted in 1804 with Madame Vodio's ambition to Islamize the whole nation. It was failed. So, and this vision, this motion is still lingering in the heart of today's Fúlàní. So that is why we are suggesting that we need to raise a bill that will regulate the Fúlàní in Nigeria. This is not to discriminate. This is for us to let the Fúlàní know that they are not indigenous Nigerians, that they are aliens. And because of their bad behaviors, that is why we have reasonable conviction that we need to regulate them. And in this situation, I believe something will change the moment we take the radical step to regulate the Fúlàní in Nigeria. Secondly, the Fúlàní must make allegiance to Nigeria and Nigerians that they will not ignite the 1804 Usman Folio failed ambition again in Nigeria. Third, the Fúlàní must assure Nigeria and Nigerians that they will not invade and attack Nigeria and Nigerians anymore. In this situation, the Fúlàní have attacked Nigerian soldiers. They have attacked governmental properties. They have attacked individuals. Some of their victims that they will capture and collect ransom home, they still kill them. Even in the war front, there are certain people you're not allowed to kill in war front under humanitarian law. For example, in the war front where two countries are fighting, you can't kill a pregnant woman. You can't kill a child. And sometimes women are always scared, are always set aside. They don't kill them. Lastly, if a soldier have surrendered, you don't kill them in war front. But in this situation of the Fúlàní, they have absolute no regard for the laws at all. And this is one of the reasons why we're saying that the Fúlàní must learn how to comply with the laws in Nigeria. Okay? So, and we need to create a land for the Fúlàní that will be their own ancestral land. I suggest we need to give them the Sambisa forest. We develop it for them and let them reside in that area. That does not mean they cannot go to any part of Nigeria, but we need to give them their own land, because the Hausa people are declining them, that they don't want them as well. So it is all nationalities in Nigeria that are trying to do away from the Fúlàní because of their jihadist ambition. So we need to cut them off in so many places. And at last, and the last my submission is, depending on the time, we were able to regulate this. No Fúlàní man should hold any significant post in Nigeria anymore. You see, this issue have to stand up, because somebody need to stand up for a change to be positive in Nigeria. That is why I'm doing this in my own perspective. I'm standing up for positive changes in Nigeria, because no changes can happen until when you make a move, until where action is involved. And this is my own action to ensure that we regulate Nigeria. We regulate anyone that have negative intention in Nigeria. And how I'm doing this under my constitutional right, or my constitutional duty, Section 24 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, 24A, gave me the right and you to defend Nigeria, to defend your community, to defend your village. So I am using this platform to defend Nigeria first and defend Yoruba land from the Fúlàní attacks, because the Fúlàní has the nothing intention to Islamize Nigeria, and Nigeria is a secular state. So this cannot happen. And in order for us to prevent this happening, that is why we are reaching to the United Nations, the Secretary General, and we are using this platform as well to reach out to the P5 members. Those are the veto members, the National Security Council, and we are using this platform to appeal to United States President Donald Trump to come to our aid with Israelite government, to come to our aid, because the fear of Trump have pacified little peace in Nigeria. The fear of Trump bring caution to the Fulanis in Nigeria. So, President Trump, we are expecting you for a serious visitation in Nigeria. And whenever you come and visit Nigeria, these are the people we expect you to visit. Dr. Sheyi Gumi, the bandit advocate, the bandit, the man that advocate for security and the welfare of the bandits in Nigeria. And this can only happen in Nigeria. It can't happen in any other part of Nigeria. This Dr. Sheyi Gumi have alleged the federal government of Nigeria, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his government, they knows much about the insecurity that pervades Nigeria. This is a serious indictment to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Gumi have made this statement on 3 different occasions, and he has made it of recent again. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and any of his spokesman have never come out to caution Gumi to decline this allegation from Dr. Sheyi Gumi. So indirect, in my own opinion, I think, is it true that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows about this insecurity in Nigeria and he cannot do it, or what? So tell me your own opinion and your suggestion. And so we look at the statement of Professor Usman Yusuf as well, who is one of the Fulani advocates as well, and El-Rufai, that have made a statement on numerous occasions that anyone that killed Boko Haram or any terrorist is a loan that you're going to pay in future. So this is a serious warning to all our people. And Bello Matawalle, who is the state defense minister, this matter has been alleged as member of terrorists in Nigeria, and is still part of the government. This is a red flag. So we look at we look at Bello Badejo, who is the president of Miyetti Allah Culture in Nigeria. This association is known to be a terrorist association, and this man is still working free in Nigeria. We look at Kwansonko as well. We look at Bala Mohammed, who has stated clearly on I think on a Arise TV or IGT or TV station, one TV station, he said that all the Fulanis in Africa, they are automatically Nigerians. The moment they put their foot into Nigerian soil, they will become a Nigerian citizen immediately, and he will fund them with Nigerians' money. So this is absolutely wrong, and that is why I stated that we need to start regulating the Fulanis in Nigeria, because the influence of the Fulanis in Nigeria is giving us is increasing the insecurity in Nigeria. And the only way we can get it done is, my own opinion, is to start regulating the influence of Fulanis in Nigeria. And that is one of the reasons I made a statement that no Fulani man should be the head of immigration services anymore, and border in the border, and even the custom analyzers as well, and in soldier. So if we can do this, because this is the reliance of the Fulanis, because they are mostly in that area, and they believe as they occupy that significant post, they can do and undo in Nigeria. And this is giving them the leeway, which I strongly believe we need to amputate. And let's look at the story of Pantama as well. It's a Pantama who have been alleged to be terrorist sponsor as well. Lastly, before I go, I would like us to look at during the era of PMB, the United Arab Emirates, they sent the names of some Nigerians that had sponsored terrorism. They sent their names to the Nigerian government during the era of PMB, And now it is the era of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So we are expecting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to read out those names so that we can know who to hold responsible in this situation. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to also come out and defend the allegation of Dr. Shehi Gumi indicted him and his government that he is one of the sponsors of terrorism, because he has not come out to decline that statement that, no, my government doesn't know anything about it. Lastly, the Sultan of Sokoto need to be cautioned seriously, because Sultan of Sokoto influence on this on the issue of Sharia law, we need to stop it as a matter of time. We need to stop Sharia Sultan of Sokoto because due to his position as the Fúlàní leaders in many ways. So if this man keeps saying this, that means he's going to have more influence. We know that Sultan of Sokoto is the head of Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs in Nigeria. Also, he is the leader of Arakunrin Sufis and other, and he is also the head of Sokoto Caliphate, the spiritual leader of Nigerian Muslims. He is one of them. So in this situation, the stool of Sultan of Sokoto is very important. So I urge Sultan of Sokoto to mind his speech whenever he's doing everything. At the moment, Sultan of Sokoto have come down and say, oh, they have to fight terrorists to the core. I strongly believe this is just a mouth say. Sultan of Sokoto is still part of them, and he's still one of the strong figure of jihadists in Nigeria. He is one of the founder of Boko Haram. So as long as the Boko Haram is still alive, and he is still defending Boko Haram up to today, that because they should not maltreat them, according to Gumi as well. So we need to deal with those people before we could have a way out in Nigeria. Without dealing with these people, I've mentioned their names, and the other people that the Saudi Arabian government send their name to us in Nigeria. Without dealing with these people, we cannot overcome terrorism in Nigeria. So the logical question is, what is the way forward now? What is the way forward now? So that is what I want us to look at. What is the way forward now? In my own opinion, one of the way forward is we need to stop all Fúlàníes from holding any political post in Nigeria as soon as possible. E.g. Nuribado, Bello Matawale. Look at the statement of Nuribado saying the terrorists are their families and they cannot do anything for them. And he is the National Security Advisor to the government. And look at the Minister for State Defense as Bello Matawale. So all those things, we can never succeed in fighting insecurity in Nigeria when those people are still in power and they are still in government. So I raise the submission to all Nigerians to join me on the war against the Fúlàní in Nigeria, that we need to regulate the Fúlàní in Nigeria. You need to join me on anti-Islamization movement in Europe, in Nigeria. So this protest will be coming up this year. Please join me and let us fight this together. The Fúlàní are minorities in Nigeria. Other nationalities were majority. So when the majority put forces together, we shall defeat the minority. So join me as member of the majority that we're going to defeat the Fúlàní this year. I strongly believe if we do this in good faith, we shall overcome the Fúlàní in Nigeria. And the moment we overcome the Fúlàní in Nigeria, definitely we have overcome the insecurity in Nigeria. Now, we don't want this to spread to other parts of Nigeria. As of today, the Kwara State is bleeding under their governor, who is being alleged as sponsor of terrorism. Akure is bleeding. Ekiti is bleeding. Most Ibadan is bleeding. So most of Yoruba land are bleeding now. And that is why I am taking the mantle of the leadership of Yoruba Nation advocacy. That right from now, the starting point for me is, in Yoruba land, is anti-open grazing law must be enforced. Enforcement of anti-open grazing law is starting from me in Yoruba land. With this, I will be able to regulate the influx of Fúlàní in our community. Please remember, it is not the only Fúlàní that are cattle rearer. We have Yoruba cattle rearer, we have Yoruba Igbo as well, we have all other tribes. But mostly, the Fúlàní are the majority on this business. And the allegations have gone to majority of them as well. So that is why we mention the Fulanis regularly. It is not only the Fulani that does it. Don't get me wrong. It is not only the Fulanis are criminal in this perspective of kidnapping. We have seen Evan kidnapper. We have seen many kidnappers. But many kidnappers in other parts of Nigeria, they are dealt with. The kidnappers in the north, they are not being dealt with as well. They are not being dealt with. That's why the issue is keep repeating itself. Because the law is very weak in northern part of Nigeria. And so in the southwest, where the law is strict and will have consequences for any injustice. So please, I want you to join me on this peaceful protest to regulate the Fulanis in Nigeria. Under my advocacy, the Fulanis must eat humble pie. And I will ensure the Fulanis eat humble pie this year, 2026. So join me on the peaceful protest that is coming up this year. We shall announce the date and the month to you. I was told not to declare the month anymore, so we kept it secret. But I will divulge it to you when the time is approaching. But I'm using this platform to prepare your mind that there's a peaceful protest that's coming up in future in this year that we're going to humble the Fulanis in Nigeria. And starting from Sultan of Sokoto, we shall humble him. So have a lovely and wonderful day. And I remain your human rights lawyer and Yoruba Nation advocate to the core. I promise not to disappoint you. I remain an indefatigable Yoruba Nation activist. Samson Akinla is my name. Have a lovely and wonderful day. Bye for now.
You dey find real Yoruba gist, culture, truth, and vibes. Now here dey. Arole Baba Tenten Media. No dollar. Subscribe. Sharp, sharp.
Ìrédé láti iléeṣẹ́ ìjà ẹkùn security alert, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń ṣèpèsè àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò tó dúró ṣinṣin fún ilégbèé, ilé ìtura, iléeṣẹ́ àbí ibùdó ìtajà ẹni. Ìjà ẹkùn iléeṣẹ́ ìjà ẹkùn security alert ló ń kéde fún gbogbo àwọn tó bá fẹ́ gba àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò security àbí gbogbo àwọn tó bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ láti bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò yẹn security. Ọ́fíìsì wa ti wà ní Òkè Ṣídà ládùúgbò tó kọjú sí ààfin ọba Òṣèmọ̀wé ìyẹn town hall nílùú Oǹdó. Bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn ẹ̀ka ọ́fíìsì wa míì tún bẹ nípínlẹ̀ Oǹdó. Bóyá ẹ̀yin wá nílò àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò tàbí ẹ sì fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ iléeṣẹ́ ìjà ẹkùn security alert gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò, ẹ máa bọ̀ tààràtà sí ọ́fíìsì wa àbí kẹ́ ẹ pè sórí àwọn nọ́mbà yìí 0906 064 7821 tàbí 0811 242 56285. Kàn sí ìjà ẹkùn security alert lónìí, ètò ààbò rẹ̀ dájú nítorí bẹ́ẹ̀ ọkọ̀ kẹ́ran kó bẹ́gìjà sẹ́kùn yóò fẹ̀jẹ̀wẹ̀.